Hello, hello, hello. A very good afternoon to each and every one of you. I am Harsh from Dolphin Markets, and you are tuning in to the second live streaming of today's Tuesday, right? So, you all are aware that we have these live screenings, right? These live recordings going on YouTube, right? From Monday till Friday. And each day we come and provide you with live streaming sessions three times a day, right? So we have it once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and the third happens after the stock market closes, all right? So right now it is 2:11 Indian Standard Time and 12:42 Dubai Standard Time. A very good afternoon. But before we get started, I'll give you 5 minutes. All right, take 5 minutes. All right, we want more people to join in to be a part of this lovely live streaming session. So, and for everyone else who has come to this live streaming session in a hurry and has forgotten to get their pen, paper, water, coffee, tea, whatever is required to keep you focused. All right, I'll give you 5 minutes. All right, five, and I'll see you back in five. Of this lovely live streaming session. So, and for everyone else who has come to this live streaming session in a hurry and has forgotten to get their pen, paper, water, coffee, tea, whatever is required to keep you focused. All right, I'll give you 5 minutes. All right, five, and I'll see you back in five. All right, I hope everyone is present in today's second live streaming session. And I can see Sophia is here. Sophia is always punctual, everyone. Be like Sophia, correct? Be punctual. Take our live trade opportunities, right? Take our hot stocks. We give you so many options, right? Follow her footsteps and you will be profitable like Sophia too. All right, before we get started, a very, very good afternoon to each and every one of you. I hope you had a great start to today, Tuesday, correct? And I hope that your day is going well, it's going peaceful, it's going happy, it's going exciting, correct? So, being currently it is 2:16 Indian Standard Time, 1 hour more for the market, Indian share market to close, and it's 12:47 Dubai Standard Time. All right, so I hope everyone has joined today's live streaming session. I hope you have your pen, paper, water, tea, coffee, lunch. If you're having lunch, I understand, with um, in today's world, everything is so hectic, correct? So people are trying to do their work and multitask. So I know a lot of people are trying to even juggle their work along with attending this live streaming session. along with having their lunch. So kudos, a big salute to everyone who's taking out the energy, time, and effort to attend these live streaming sessions. It's for the benefit of you, beautiful people. All right. So before we get started, a quick introduction. I can see Mr. Lee again in our chat room, and Sophia and Lee are the only two people who have been, very consistent in terms of, keeping the interaction going. If I want you to, for everyone who is attending this live streaming session, it is so, so, so important for you to keep interacting with me, right? I'm here to listen to your queries, to understand your queries, your questions, and I will do my best to reply to you. And if you don't have any questions, if you like the way I talk, if you like the way I look, if you like the way I interact, you can at least, say, you can type down your emoticons, or you can just say hi. It would be great to see more and more people being interactive, right? This session, this live streaming session, is all about being active, being interactive, and listening and paying attention to whatever is being discussed. All right, so let's start. I'm Harsh. I have almost 8 years of experience, 8 years of experience trading the financial markets. I mainly focus on forex, commodities, and US based indices, right? Like the Dow Jones and the S&P 500. And currently, we are also looking at the Indian indices, right? The Indian share market. We look at the Indian indices as well as the individual Indian stocks, correct? Here, we at Dolphin Markets are doing our best to our capabilities in terms of providing you with analysis, live market conditions. We even provide you with hot stocks. So, analysis, live market conditions, all right? Then, secondly, we provide you with trading opportunities. We have a team of researchers that scout, that research the entire Indian share market, and we try to come up with the best trading possibilities, right? Best trading scenarios. So we provide you with analysis, we provide you with trading opportunities, aka hot stocks, correct? As well as during the third live streaming session, which happens after the market closes, we talk a lot about understanding, or it's more mainly based towards technical analysis education, all right, where we teach you, where we provide you education in terms of what is technical analysis and the various steps, structures, patterns, and so on and so forth. So I hope everyone is lively. All right, make sure that you are focused. All right, let's make sure that we have our blinders on to be very focused into today's session. Since today's session, the second session mainly takes into consideration how the markets are moving, how the markets have started, has been focused in the first live streaming session. The second live streaming session is mainly based towards, all right, once the market has started 9:15 Indian standard time, what is the current sentiment, what is the overall sentiment of people, of traders, of human beings, right, who are looking and trading the Indian share market. So quickly, I hope everyone is attentive, and please make sure you type in down, all right? Any queries, any questions, please make sure that you can type it down so that I can do my best to make sure it is your questions are answered. All right. And moving forward, we had a lot of queries from a lot of people out there saying that, Harsh, you speak English so well, but unfortunately, we cannot understand Hindi. We cannot understand English properly. So could you talk to us in Hindi also? So moving forward, I have to make sure that I am able to connect to each and every one of you, right? I cannot just focus on a small group. I need to look at this entire live streaming session community as a whole. So for people who are interested or want me to continue in English, please type one. All right. Use your keyboard, press the number one and press enter right in the chat box. And secondly, जिनको इंग्लिश प्रॉपरली समझ में नहीं आता है और उनको अगर लगता है कि उनको ज़्यादा समझ में आएगा अगर मैं हिंदी में बात करूंगा, तो मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ। मैं मुंबई का हूँ, तो आप प्लीज़ दो नंबर दबाइए एंड chat box में लिख लिया, ताकि then I will have an idea of how many people are interested in English and how many people are interested in Hindi, right? I only know these two languages, right? For people who are asking me whether you talk in Arabic or Chinese, sorry, I am not fluent in any of those. I can talk fluently in English and I can talk fluently in Hindi. All right. So now that these formalities have been sorted out, let's look at what the markets are telling. A quick look. I hope everyone can see my screen. Let's start with the Nifty. The Nifty are the top 50 blue chip performing companies listed on the National Stock Exchange. It's fine, people. The more repetitive I become in repeating it, the more easier for people to understand and be aware. Because many people they get so engrossed or they get so carried away with the advanced level technicalities that once we come back to the base structure, the basics, people start to fumble. All right. So currently looking at what the markets are showing, the Nifty, right? As you can see, there has been a strong bearish sentiment. All right. The prices have been bearish. You can clearly see there has been a deficit, a fall, a negative of almost 0.81%. Sophia is writing, sir, you are in a good mood. Sophia, I am always in a good mood. All right. I try my best to keep everything aside, but when I'm with you, beautiful people, I make sure to keep it as interactive, as lively, as energetic as possible, right? Because the more energetic I am, the more energetic you will be. Remember what I said in the first live streaming session, that if someone has a strong, a happy aura, a good amount of energy around them, that energy dissipates, that energy trickles down, that energy gets transferred into other people. All right. So Mr. Lee is writing, so considerate, right? Mr. Lee, I need to write. I am your mentor, and I need to make sure I'm your analyst, I'm your mentor, I'm your hot stock trade opportunity provider, I'm your friend, right? So I try to be an all rounder, right? It's like be a jack of all trades, right? So coming back to the market, looking at Nifty, first of all, let me put the watermark so that people are aware, because I still have. Or I used to have this, this concern when I used to be a student myself. I am a student. I'm still learning every day, correct? But generally, when we use TradingView and when we are looking at different ticker symbols, when we are looking at the indices or when we are looking at stocks, it is very important to make sure that people are aware which stock and which ticker symbol we are looking at, correct? Many people are aware that on the top left hand corner we have where we can type out. All right, I hope everyone is aware about this. The search bar where you can go and type the individual index or the individual Indian stock. All right. But when people are engrossed into understanding what is happening on the charts, people tend to forget what we are talking about. So that is the reason I have made sure to keep the watermark on so that people do not have any confusion whatsoever. All right. Now let's get back to what the markets are showing. Currently, as you can see, as mentioned, the prices had opened exactly where the Monday market had closed, and now we can see that there is a deficit of almost 86%. Mr. Badal Sheikh is in the house. All right, good afternoon. A very good afternoon to you too, brother. Now, as we can see in Nifty, prices are, like the support area is being consumed, it's being eating. And right now you can see the prices are trying to pierce and break the support area, right? Why is this happening? We'll get into it. Quickly, let's have a quick look at what the Sensex is trying to show. As you all are aware, the Sensex basically comprises of 30 companies which are listed on the Bombay Stock Exchange, correct? And if Nifty is traveling or going in a particular direction, the Sensex follows, right? The big brother and the small brother. It's like whether, or just let us keep it as siblings, correct? I don't want to create any kind of gender animosity over here, so I want to keep it simple. Wherever the elder sibling goes, the younger sibling goes with them, right? Wherever the younger sibling starts to run away, the elder sibling goes to catch it, correct? So the Nifty has been bearish, all right, bearish sentiment, while the Sensex also. Ali is sending me medals. Wow, thank you, thank you. I feel like an athlete right now. All right, but that's a huge compliment. Thank you so much. Sagar is in the house, right? We dab, right? We dab. Thank you for being and joining with us. It's a lovely pleasure having all of you on board, right? The more interaction, the more merrier. Currently on Sensex, as you can see, like it had shown on the Nifty, we can see that prices have been bouncing, correct? Bouncing, bouncing. But now, with the bearish sentiment coming into picture, there has been, right, the onset of uncertainty, the onset of indecisiveness, the onset of what will happen in the financial market. So, based from just a technical overview, we can see that prices have been holding the support, but with the onset of bearishness coming in, there is still bearish pressure. The index is being weighed down, it's being pulled right by the bears because of all the uncertainties happening. So let's quickly go and check what certain articles are trying to show. As you can see, we have a quick glance at the sector analysis. Now, understand, remember, as I had discussed, Mr. Yasin is in the house. Thank you for cheering me. It means a lot to me. Sector analysis for today. All right, as per this particular timing, when you go to www.moneycontrol.com, and remember, you need to keep on refreshing. So as of today, there the telecom sector was doing pretty well. The mobile, the telecom, and the IT sector were doing pretty well in the morning. We had even our tagline, our title for the morning's YouTube streaming session was about how telecom is performing and how the bullish behavior of certain giant companies in the telecom industry have been pushing prices higher. All right. Now, with more bearishness and more decisiveness coming into the market, the weightage of the companies that were bullish are also having to feel the pressure of the surrounding, the other companies, right, which comprises in that particular sector. So, as of now, all right, it's been a red day. As you can see, in terms of sector performance, there is no current sector as of now, as of this current scenario where we have any sector that is in the green, that is having a bullish sentiment for today. Majority of the sectors, if not all, have today have been in a bearish sentiment for today. All right, and the reason for that is with so many companies coming out there with their quarterly two earnings, right? The earning reports are out. People are talking about which companies are being listed to enroll out their stock earnings, correct, quarterly earning reports. And at the same time, when companies are not performing well, when the results are out and when the results do not match with the speculation, with what people had, had expected, then markets start to take, severe turns. Stocks, especially the stocks mentioned, they start to take, severe turn. There is a huge amount of volatility that takes place. There's uncertainties when the results don't match with what had been expected by traders, by investors, correct? So as you can see, the stock market has been, taking a plunge with a lot of companies, more than 425 companies out there who have been, listed for this entire week, right from yesterday, 21st of October to Friday, which is going to be 25th. So from 24th to 25th, in a span of 5 working days, more than 425 companies have been planned out to give out, to share their quarterly earning reports. As in how the days are progressing, more companies are coming out sharing their quarterly earning reports, and many of those companies, unfortunately, are not performing well, all right, due to internal management issues or due to people's expectations, high expectations, and not being able to sustain to those expectations. So those companies have been taking a backlash, have been having a bearish sentiment by investors, and that is the reason where you have the index taking a big toll. All right, let us go through some of the articles which are of importance for today, for this particular live streaming session. As you can see, I typically use a couple of websites. I use LiveMint, I use Financial Times, I use Economic. Economic Times, and I also use Business Standard, right? So on Business Standard, you can see they kind of they're very up to date in terms of what is happening in the financial market, what is happening on Dalal Street, which is basically where the BSE is established, right? And what even the Nifty, the NSE is trying to show. So as of now, today you can see the stock market updates, right? So let us see what it has to say. The stock market live updates. Remember, there has been a lot of bearish sentiment, and before we get into it, there is something important that I have to talk about. I hope many of you are aware about the Hyundai India IPO, right? It is the biggest IPO India has ever witnessed, the Indian share market. Let me first talk to you about it because it is currently the hottest topic in the Indian finance, in the Indian share market, right? Hyundai IPO latest news. It's very important because certain news events, not every big short company. Remember, Hyundai is a very massive company. I mean, it is one of the top three performing countries from South Korea, right? I mean, besides K-pop and besides K-drama, you have Hyundai, you have Samsung, which are biggest pioneers in their respective fields, correct? So let us look at some of the news articles that Hyundai has been in the news, right? Remember, it's been only 2 days since they had issued their, or they had given the chance for investors to be a part of their IPO. Remember, a company issues IPO, initial public offering, right? When a company wants, when a private company wants to go public, right, to garner, to gather more investment, right? More trust from the public, more funds. They need to go out and issue an IPO, right? I don't want to get into the legalities and technicalities of what an IPO is and what is the procedure, but when a private company wants to go public, they need to issue an IPO, right? So let us have a quick glance at what it is mentioning, all right? And remember, this is the biggest IPO offering Indian stock market has ever witnessed, right? When such a big company, generally when it's a private company, it's generally small, right? In terms of it's new, it is still in its baby phase, initial phases that we call, and it is trying to garner attention. It's trying to garner as in gather, all right? To collect more funds from the public, right? That is why it initiates an initial public offering. It is offering to the public a particular price at which they want the investor to buy, right? The investor can be a part of that particular company at that desired share price per share, correct? So as you can see, the shares of Hyundai Motor India. Remember, it is not Hyundai. It is a sister company. It is a sister company. They cannot, based on all rules and legalities and red tape and whatsoever, it is a subsidiary of Hyundai, but in India, right? So that's why it is not just Hyundai. It is Hyundai India. But read what is mentioned. Shares of Hyundai Motor India dropped as much as 6%. I mean, that is a massive fall. When such a strong company, tries to enter into the Indian market and even establishes an IPO, right? Offers it to the public. But due to what the company's financial reports, earning reports are to based on what people perceive the company's value to be. When there is a disbalance or when people are too obvious or too eager to join onto the bandwagon, to join onto that particular stock. Remember, as I have always mentioned, the market is a zero. It's a zero sum game. What enters exits, all right? There is nothing that it is having an unlimited supply of entries and an unlimited supply of exit. It always, for the marketplace to exit, for the stock market to exit, there has to be a buyer and a seller. When a buyer and seller exchange, right, a transaction occurs, and that transaction is plotted on the charts, correct? So when people are too eager that yes, Hyundai is the best company, let's jump onto it. The prices were escalated, but the prices have started to depreciate. Right? We will even check it on the charts, but let us understand what the article says. All right. So dropped the Hyundai Motor India, all right, HYUN, right? This is the ticker symbol for Hyundai Motor India, all right? So dropped as much as 6% in their market debut. Remember, the market debut is what today. The IPO was listed 2 days back, but then the debut has taken place today. So after a tepid response from retail investors to the pricing of the country's largest initial public offering, like I had mentioned, this is the biggest public offering in the Indian share market, right? The stock listed at 1,934 rupees on the National Stock Exchange below its offered price of 1960. They wanted to initially offer it to the public at 1960, but the stock listed at 1934, indicating that people are a little skeptical. Big people are feeling it's a little on the expensive side, and it traded down almost 4% at 1882 by 0548 GMT. All right, the Greenwich Mean Time, giving the company a valuation of 1.53 trillion rupees. My goodness. Hyundai India is number two car maker. Remember, like even in India, Honda has such a big market share with a market share of 15%, making it the number two car maker. All right, was targeting a valuation of 19 billion rupee dollars. Sorry, so 19 billion, but they got listed at 18.2 billion. Right, a slight less value compared to their initial market valuation. All right, its record of 3.3 billion IPO was oversubscribed, so it was subscribed by almost two times, led largely by institutional investors. But pricing concerns, investors were feeling that the prices were being on the higher side. The stock prices were being offered at an expensive rate, right? So this led the large investors, but pricing concerns deterred retail investors who worried they would not be able to make gains on the listing. Remember, the large investors are thinking for the long term, so they are fine with entering at whatever is being offered. But retail investors like you and me, we cannot keep affording something which is expensive. So based on that sentiment of prices being too expensive, they had a bearish sentiment, and that is where the prices have fallen quite low. We will have a look at the chart and see what it shows. Let me remind you again that as of now, remember the industry performance, sorry, the sector performance, my bad, the sector performance. We're talking about the sector performance. They keep fluctuating. So at this current moment, there are no current sectors. Remember, I'm talking about a sector. I'm not talking about one company. There are companies which come in a particular sector. For example, telecommunication. Telecommunication is a sector, right? Which is dealing with telecommunications and digital communications, correct? But we have companies inside the telecommunication sector. We got Reliance, we got Geo Reliance, we got Airtel, we got Vodafone. So these are companies that are listed in that particular sector. Just because a sector is not performing well, please don't get confused. It's not like no company is performing well. What I'm trying to um educate you over here is that that particular sector as a whole, the majority of companies in that particular sector are not performing well. That is why we don't have any sector which is in bullish sentiment, all right, as of now. So people who are talking about the Hyundai IPO, right? I mean, when something is of massive value and something when it is big news, right? Especially a company like Hyundai who wants to issue an IPO comes to India and lists it on the National Stock Exchange. So let us look how the chart looks on TradingView. All right, let's go to the chart, and it is called as Hyundai India, all right? Hyundai Motor India. As you can see, it is only one candle, right? That too on the daily time frame. Why people will be like, why are there no candles or why is there no data? Just a quick reminder, this company has just debuted itself today, all right? The IPO was issued last week, I guess, on Thursday and Friday. So people had the option to jump on that IPO, to be a part of that IPO, but the debut on the NSE, the debut of this particular share on the NSE, on the National Stock Exchange, has happened today. So that is why we have only one candle. I hope everyone is understanding, right? I don't want any kind of confusions taking place. So prices had initially been offered at, when the company wanted to offer, it was offered at 1960, but based on the real supply and demand, the prices opened at 1934, with the institutional investors jumping onto the bandwagon, but retail investors like you and me, who did not, what do you call, were not able to accustom, or were not able to digest the fact that the price of that particular stock is too, it's quite high, it's quite expensive compared to what, based on their operations. So that is the reason why we're having such a downfall. Since it is initial, since it has debuted today, I mean, this is just for your information, just to understand how a company, right, private company, whether it's a small company or a very well reputed company like Hyundai, starts initially by offering the public an IPO and then is debuted on that particular stock exchange. Honda is listed on the NSE, right, and not on the BSE. Hyundai India, Motor India. Let's quickly look at what the charts are showing. So, quick recap of what the Nifty has been showing: still holding, still showing bearish pressure, as and how the market sentiment yet, right? Let me just quickly show you what I mean by that. The market sentiment, when we're talking about what exactly is the sentiment of people, right? This is right now, with more and more bearish pressure coming into the markets, people are getting skittish. Like I keep telling, when the herd starts to follow the news event, the market structure also follows in that particular direction. Whether they are right or wrong is irrespective, but eventually what is shown on the market decides its fate, correct? So as you can see, it is only a 14% consensus, 14% bullish consensus, right? From opinions which are, in the minds of traders, investors, institutions. A big chunk. Remember, people are not just going to be bullish, like, okay, it has to go up, 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 or bearish, it has to go down, down, down. No. People like to wait on the sidelines. People like to wait at the sideline. Sideline meaning they just want to take a step back and then let clarity come into the markets. Let people be clear about what exactly people are expecting, and then they decide whether to go bullish or bearish, right? So it's neutral. When people are not really sure what to do, when people do not clearly understand what is the real sentiment, and people don't talk about it on a daily basis. People talk it from the point of a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, semi-annual basis, and annual basis, right? So 42% bearish and 44% bearish, right? So still the weightage comes to the bears, right? Pessimism, skepticism, indecisiveness. 425 companies out there coming up with their quarterly to earning reports. Many of the well-known companies are not having the figures that people had expected, that people had speculated. So there is a lot of pressure coming on these companies. With a lot of pressure coming on these companies, what happens? The industry start to take a toll. The sector starts to take a toll, right? And that is when more bearish pressure comes. Because remember, I cannot recollect the name of the person, but he is a very well-known, reputed person. But he says one thing, when prices are bullish, right? When the markets are moving in the positive direction, prices will generally take time, prices will generally take time. Wait, let me just denote it with a clear um, depiction, right, in form of a picture. I hope none of you are sleeping. Please, guys, if you have any questions, if there is any doubts, if there are any stocks that you would want me to see, or if you just want to say a hi also, you can write down in the comment box, right? Sometimes I feel when no one is chatting, it's like, okay, are even people listening to what I'm saying? All right. So what I was trying to say, and the example that I want to give you of Nifty is this. when prices are appreciating, all right? And this is also used highly in technical analysis. When prices are appreciating, when prices are bullish, right? It takes time for prices to continue up, right? But when there is skepticism in the market, when there is indecisiveness in the market, or when the people are pessimistic, right? When I talk about pessimistic, I'm not talking about individuals behavior. I'm talking of, the sentiment, the investor sentiment as a whole, whether they are, happy, whether they are sad, or whether they are just annoyed, right? So when the sentiment reverses from bullish to bearish, the time it took for the market to appreciate in value, to increase in value, it doesn't take much time for the price to fall or to tank. So what I'm trying to say is, I'll give you a very clear example, and it's very easy to understand. The amount of time taken for the prices to appreciate in value, right? Like this. Let me put the arrows so that people are aware of what I'm talking. The time it takes for price to appreciate, all right? And the time for the time it takes for the opposite to happen. Let us keep it in simple words. For the opposite to happen, look at the time frame, right? It is not even half, it is less than half. What I'm trying to say, when prices are bullish, prices will take time, they will take time, and they have their own pace. But when prices, when there is uncertainty in the markets, when people are skeptic, or when people are scared, just yeah, when people are scared, the prices fall at a much faster rate, all right? So it might take months, it might take days, it might take weeks, it might take months. But when the market reverses, when there is uncertainty, right? When people are scared, the time it takes for the market to fall, right? So the amount of time it took for prices to go up was substantial, right? You can see the line, the arrow mark that I've drawn is huge. But the moment price falls based on uncertainty, when investors, when traders are scared, the fall, the duration is much quicker, all right? And that is what currently that we are kind of observing on. 1 second. And that is what we're currently seeing, right? When prices are rallying, it will take a good amount of time to appreciate in value, right? But when the prices fall, it is very heavy, and it happens quickly, correct? So, with a lot of bearish sentiment taking place, prices are still going down, people are still skeptical, and Mr. Lee is writing, the market is really getting to me. Remember, Lee, Mr. Lee, it's a very important piece of nugget, a very important piece of information that I'm sharing. The market will do what the market has to do. All right, let me repeat it again. The market will do what the market is supposed to do. All right, you, me, traders, investors, we can only make sure that we do our due diligence, we do our analysis, and we just, because if you start getting affected, remember, the markets are meant to be volatile. The markets will go up and down. It's a very, very simple example of what I was showing you based on sector analysis. For something, I mean, a couple of days back, I was talking about the shipbuilding industry, right? I hope everyone can see my mouse. So the shipbuilding industry was almost 7% positive, appreciated in value yesterday, all right? But today, when we look, it's negative. The markets are going to go up, down, side to side, right? You and me, as uh, educated as educated and well-centered human beings, right? We just need to make sure that we should not be affected by whatever is happening. Yes, human beings have emotions, and emotions do outflow at certain points of time. But when we can be in control, we can take better decisions, we can be more self-centered, and we would be less affected by whatever is happening in the financial markets. All right. Remember, guys and girls, men and beautiful women, shipbuilding industry, which currently shows a negative, a deficit of 8.03, a negative value of 8.03. But if I change the picture from a daily consensus, a daily update to a yearly update, all right, a yearly consensus, you can clearly see, wait 1 second, it changes quickly because in terms of what I'm trying to say, if you look at the shipbuilding industry, and this is what I want to show, it's very important for people to understand. People generally get confused and they get so carried away in what is happening currently as of just as of today, right? It's important. And the shipping in the 1 second, let me first type it out. Shipping industry, Indian shipping industry, sector appreciation. It has skyrocketed. It's almost touching 141% appreciation. And let us see. Let me check where I had seen this, or let me just type Mazgaon shipping industry to see whether we can get share price appreciation. If you look at this is a very simple example to understand. The sector is huge, right? The sectors are going to have many companies within that particular sector. But when we were talking about Mazgaon, right? Mazgaon is a very prominent company, Indian shipbuilding company that comes under the shipbuilding sector. So currently, based on just the sector analysis for the day, the shipbuilding sector is at a deficit, negative 8%, all right, around 8%. But when you look at the 1 year, you almost have the appreciation of 112 for this particular company, right? That just shows like, all right, you're going to have daily changes, right? The market will change. The market is a beast. It's a living beast. It will have its ups. It will have its downs. What I'm trying to say, but in the long term, when you look at even the 6 months, the semi-annual, right, return on equity, return on investment, whatever you want to call it, it's 106%, and for a year, it's almost touching 112, almost double of what a person or an investor would have initially invested, right? So be aware of what all the fluctuations that are taking place on different phases of times, right? So in terms of what is happening on today, what is happening today. So looking at the shortest consensus, right? What is happening today, intraday. Then you go on to the next. What is happening in the week? You have an entire weekly analysis. For websites or other educational services who do not provide weekly, you can go to the next time frame, which is the monthly. What has happened during the month? What fluctuations have taken place during the month? Similarly, then from the month, you can go to the quarter analysis. What has happened during those 3 months, correct? Then from those 3 months, you can go on to semi-annual. What has happened in the 6 months, right? Remember, whenever company publishes its reports, or the general terminology which is used in finance and business, people have quarterly earning reports, they have semi-annually earning reports, and they have yearly earning reports, right? Bigger the time frame, the broader the picture. Broader the picture, the more clarity as to what you can expect might happen, or what is the larger term picture, correct? Now let's look at what else we were looking at. Let's go back to trading view. So trading view, and I hope for people who are joining in for this second live streaming session, we had discussed about a particular hot stock that was shared during the morning time, and that was NACP, right? NACP, NACPOI. It's called as Nagpur Power and Industries, right? Nagpur Power and Industries we had, and currently it is still in the zone for entry for people who haven't been able to attend the morning's live streaming session. Please make sure that this has been discussed, and I hope that you are able to take this particular trade as, as a trade opportunity, as a hot stock. We provide these trade opportunities, these stock opportunities for you beautiful people, so that you can make money, you can make good returns, you can make good profitability, right? So the prices had already been discussed for entry around 125. Price right now is sitting almost at around 125. So we are currently where prices are, and that is a preferred entry area, and we expect the prices to go till target 1 at 140, 145, and target 2 at 150, 155. Remember, please guys, whenever price comes to 5%, we will do our best to make to inform you, right? We even have our assistants who will make sure to provide you with the updates to close positions if required by you at 5%, so that we can make more money by taking more number of trades and closing at 5% rather than letting a trade run. Because as I mentioned, and it's important to repeat, to revise, that prices never go in one direction, all right? The way I have shown, let me remove the watermark for some time. Prices never go in a particular direction, right? Very rarely, maybe one in a thousand companies would have such exponential growth. Chart, all right? Prices on a chart, they will always have correction. So prices will go up, prices will go down, prices will go up, prices will go down, prices will go up. So for people who do enter at areas where, if we have given you a stock recommendation, all right, a hot stock, and this is a depiction, this is an illustration to understand the concept of what we are talking. If prices are given an area to enter at here, and people expect that we can hold them, we can ride all the way till wherever the targets are mentioned. This is a real scenario. Remember, hypothetical scenarios are very easy, and they are used as a way to explain or to provide you with an illustration. But when you come to the practical aspect of things, right, all of you are very much aware, practical is a lot different than hypothetical or ideal, correct? So the market runs in phases, right? The market runs in swings. So when you have prices which are appreciating, they will have their reversals, right? They will have their corrections, reverses. Prices will again come back down. So for people who do enter at areas somewhere here, for example, and prices were appreciating. So the reason we focus on 5% closure is so that you are able to capitalize on the markets, correct? And once the prices come back down, many people would be like, but Harsh, your target one would have been somewhere around here, correct? At this particular level. It's just an illustration, guys. Please don't confuse it with what the chart. These are the charts, but I'm trying to explain to you in a simple, in a simple manner, all right? And Sophia is writing, when will the market pick up? I mean, Sophia, I wish I knew the right answer. Remember, I'm just one person in a world of more than 8 billion people. So the market doesn't run by one person, it runs by a group of institutions. And I'm talking of hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people, right, who are having opinions of what the market is going to do. But remember, since when we talk about the indices, right? The indices mainly focus about what they focus about the strength of the economy. So when you talk about the strength of an economy, you generally expect it to have a bullish character, a bullish phase, right? So we might have corrections coming in, but the overall consensus for the price is to again continue back up. Let me make a small change over here so that let's finish with this depiction of what I was trying to say. So if prices are going in a bullish fashion to the upside, right? And for some reason we have a target. Let me just denote target one as T1. All right. I hope it's clear. Target one stands for T1. Now we had initiated an entry based on a particular hot stock to enter at this particular level, and we had our target one over here. And please remember, target zero point 0.5 level would be somewhere here. All right, let me change the color and make it green. I hope everyone can see it, right? So this would be the zero point 0.5, right? 0.5% profit booking. All right. So our main reasoning for this, when we provide you with hot stocks and we're providing you with target ones and target twos, but people are like, but then why do you focus so much on 0.5? The reason is when prices are appreciating, prices might hit target one, prices might hit target two. We do not know. We don't have a glass ball, right? We don't have the fortune teller ball, correct? I hope all of you are aware what a fortune teller ball is, right? The ball which which magicians use, to predict what will happen in the future. So when prices start to go up, and if you're sorry, not 0.5 but 5%, all right, my bad, a small correction. So when prices are moving in the particular direction and it hits a 5% booking, right? We give the customer the chance, or we remind them, we provide them a notification telling that the prices have hit the 5% profit booking barrier. For if whatever reason if price does starts to correct itself in the future, remember we do not know what the markets are going to hold for us in the future. We can only analyze, we can only do our due diligence or analysis to understand and analyze to where we expectations are different from reality, right? We can expect something, but will that expectation to be fruitful or will convert into the real scenario? It might not, right? That is the reason. So just make sure the 5% profit booking is given such that if for whatever reason the prices come back and they start to reverse, you are able to make 5%. Remember, if you're entering at 5%, and on an average we have between 2 to 5 hot stocks given in 1 week, right? So in a span of 1 week, right, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we give you around 2 to 5, right? So if you are able to hit 5%, right, on these stocks during the week, you almost end up at a profitability of around 10, right? And if you're taking 5, and for example all the 5 stocks work, so 5 tens are 50, almost 10 to 50%, all right, profitability in 1 week. So I'm just trying to make you understand that either you can hold that one particular trade and you can go through all its ups and downs, right? The market doesn't travel in one direction, the market travels in phases. So once you have the correction, people are emotional beings. They get carried away with the fear, with the panic, and they start to close. So what you might be making at 5%, you might close it at break even, or it might go into negative territory. That is the reason we make sure that we provide you a heads up in terms of, sorry, if price hits the 5% profit booking barrier, we let the customer know. Our assistants will make sure to provide you with that information. Correct? That's correct, Sophia. We provide you with that advance notification that notice that yes, price hits the 5% booking, and if you are getting 1 2 3 hot stocks depending upon market conditions, you are able to make a percentage of around 10 to 50 probability profitability in 1 week. Remember, a quick view at what I mean to say is this. I hope everyone can see my screen. When we talk about results that are currently, which have been shared in the live streaming sessions as hot stocks, remember, almost we have a screen of 25, right? 25 stocks. Out of these 25 stocks in a span of 1 month, starting from 18th of September, right now it's 22nd of October. So in a span of 1 month, we have provided you with so many hot stocks, right? 25 hot stocks. And the profit rate, the profits made on those hot stocks, they accumulate to how much? They accumulate to 92 percentile. 92 percentile, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a small number. And the reason for you to be a part of this particular live streaming session is for you to test out our capabilities, because with these capabilities one can understand and then be aware and be happy that nevertheless they might have not found a company such as Dolphin Markets, but we here at Dolphin Markets are trying to make sure that we can provide you with the best services possible, right? Analysis, hot stock recommendations, correct, and education during the third live streaming session. So it's very important. Sophia writes, jealous. I mean, Sophia, you are the one who's making good amount of money, right? You follow all our hot stocks and see how much you would be making. You already had made a very good amount of profits in the last week. So why not? You shouldn't be jealous. You should be happy, correct? So I hope this gives you a clear understanding as to why it is very important to be a part of this live streaming session. The more you be a part of this live streaming session, the more information we are able to provide to you. The more information we are able to provide to you, the better you can be in terms of making decisions. You can follow us, you can take our hot stocks, make money from hot stock, and you can even learn, right? Since I specialize mainly in technical analysis with a strong focus on supply demand, chart pattern formations, price action, swing analysis, harmonic patterns, Fibonacci ratio trading. So there is so much that I kind of bring to the table, right? But all of this happens only in the third live streaming session once the market closes for that particular day. All right. So I hope people have been able to understand the power of hot stocks, right? 25 hot stocks given. There will be some trades which will be going against, some trades which will be going in negative. Please understand, we are trying our best to provide you with the best opportunity. Will each and every opportunity turn out to be fruitful? You are living in a practical world. Come on, guys and girls, men and beautiful women. It takes time, right? It takes it's more of it's based on probabilities. Let me put it in that simple fashion. In terms of, all right, I hope everyone has understood this particular reasoning why we prefer to close at 5%. And though we do give you targets, right? Sometimes there might be some huge spikes in price, and that might go directly and hit target one, right? So you might make more than 5%, right? You can clearly see in the Excel sheet that I had shown you earlier. Let me get the Excel sheet again. As you can see, when you're looking at the profit rate, we are not closing all at 5%, right? Sometimes price appreciates in value. When price appreciates in value and price is coming closer to our target areas, we might let the trade run. Remember, we are not closing all at 5%. We have some which we have closed at a profit rate of 6%. Some we had to close at 2 based on uncertain market condition. Some were closed even at 10%. You get the point? Not all the trades are closed at 5%. Generally, as a major consensus, yes, we prefer to close at 5. But sometimes if the market is really shooting up in our direction, we can make more. So we have closed some trades at 8, some closed at some not closed trades. We have closed some trades at 11%, and a lot of them at 5%. All right. Wow, Sophia writes, follow you, right? Whatever. Remember, when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear, correct? So I'm trying my best to provide you with the right set of information, and I can provide you with the right set of information, but it is important that you take the action, correct? It is only when you take the action, we will be there, right? Me and my team of assistants will be there to provide you with any help in terms of placing trades or having any sort of queries. You can let me know. You can type down in the comment box for any questions, any queries that you have, right? Let's get back to the charts. So, as this had been discussed, for people who are still joining the session, I know good morning, literally good morning to you because you're joining in very late. But nonetheless, for people who are currently in the chat room and who haven't been aware of this particular hot stock that has been discussed, kindly please take a screenshot. All right, go to the screenshot at the top right hand corner, click on the camera button. Either you can download the image or copy the image and paste it to WhatsApp or any other software or device you would want to. Or you can use your pen and paper and write down the numbers as in what ticker symbol it is. It is Nagpur Power and Industries, right? So the ticker symbol is NAGPI, all right? And it is listed on the BSE, looking to go long at 125. Price is already at that level with target ones at 140 and target twos at 150. Remember, once price approaches 5% profitability, we will make sure to inform you, beautiful people, so that you will be aware about when to close at 5% probability. All right. And my team of assistants can also make sure, and they will also remind every one of you, right? Yasin is writing, thank you, teacher, for helping me make money. Yasin, it's my pleasure, and I am very humbled and obliged that people follow and people take these hot stocks seriously, right? Because many people feel they fall into the commotion, into the idea of being lazy, not being active, not taking decision. Remember, if you want to grow in life, if you want to make money in life, you have to take decisions. You have to take decisions. All right, you have to take decisions and you have to take risk. Remember, nothing in life can be achieved without taking decisions, without acting on your decisions, and without risk, right? You have to take risk. Everything has risk. Even when you get up from bed, when you go to office, you take a certain amount of risk, right? You have to cross roads. You have to, if you're using public transport, you have to make sure that you are safe while being inside the public transport. Everything has a risk factor. Like, we don't know what will happen with us tomorrow, day after tomorrow, correct? Or next year or next decade. Everything is uncertain. So please make sure to take such trades and take the decision to take these trades and see the benefit for yourself, correct? So Yasin, thank you again. I'm very happy and I'm very proud of you making money, all right? So a quick recap in terms of what prices have been doing, how the market has been moving. Yes, people, there has been a bearish sentiment, and as you can see, the bearish sentiment is only getting stronger, right? With prices right now touching 0.95 deficit, negative 0.95, almost a percentage, correct? The more pressure, the more panic that settles into the market, the more bullish behavior, right? Based from a technical point of view. Remember, technical analysis is a way of analysis where we speculate. There is no confirmation in trading, right? We speculate that the markets will follow a certain procedure and we stick to it. So right now we expected prices to bounce, but for some reason price bounced once, price bounced twice, but for the third time, and with all the bearish skepticism, pessimism, indecisiveness, panic in the financial market, in the Indian financial markets, the industries are taking a toll, right? So Sensex has depreciated in value by 1%, while the Nifty has taken even a bigger hit by going at almost 1.38%. All right. So the market sentiment is now shifting where people were like, all right, now we expect the prices to hold. And from that support area, prices were expected to continue higher. But with the bearish sentiment, with the 425 companies, and in the 425 companies, there are many companies, blue chip companies, whose quarterly earnings have not matched to the expectations of what the traders, what the investors were having in mind. And that is taking more pressure, or that is having more pressure on the financial markets, right? Especially the indices. Looking at the various sectors that we had discussed upon, the sectors, right? So, in terms of sectors, no sector as of now currently has been performing or has been having a bullish sentiment. The majority of the sectors are in negative, right? And we had talked about the reason how Mazgaon had, the shipbuilding company, one of the most prominent companies in the shipbuilding sector, has taken a fall. I mean, couple of days back, prices were sitting at a positive value of around 8%, 7.8 as per what I remember. But currently, as you can see where my mouse is, right? The shipbuilding sector right now is at a deficit, a negative value at 9.5, negative 9.5%. So the reasons concerning these, especially when it comes to Mazgaon, remember, is because the management in that particular company has taken into consideration stock splits, right? Stock splits are when you degrade the value of a stock, but invariably you increase the quantity, right? So a lot has been discussed even in the morning, and as of now, how the market conditions are progressing, right? Bearish day for today for sure. Things are taking a toll with the current market and conditions still being bearish. A couple of companies performing well based on their earning reports. Not all companies are having bad earning reports. Majority of them do, right? And wherever the majority of companies go, I mean, in whichever direction they go, in terms of having a bearish attitude or a bullish attitude, the sector gets pulled into that direction, right? So, for example, if a sector has maybe 10 companies, right? Out of these 10 companies, maybe 8 companies are not doing well, but there are 2 companies who are doing very well. But still, since 8 companies are not performing that well, the sector gets dragged down, correct? That is exactly what is happening on the index, as well as certain other stock recommendations, hot stocks that were discussed, right? We were talking about Magpie, and Magpie, for all of you who have either joined on the trade or who are still planning to take a trade, please make sure that you do it. Remember, the Excel sheet doesn't lie. Remember, I have shown it to you. The Excel sheet is very important for people, for like-minded people like you, because the Excel sheet shows the results that are speaking out. The results speak for themselves. Remember, we do not just trade one. Like for example, um, let's talk about the most recent example when we had told our clients to close the trade on B box yesterday, right? When it had hit the 5% mark. So we do our part, we do our best to make sure that we are providing you with the live analysis. We are trying to make sure that we provide you with the live notifications when prices reach the 5% profitability target, even though we have mentioned target 1 and target 2. So it is very important to understand that everyone over here is joining the financial markets to make money, right? And when we, as a service provider, right, we at Dolphin Markets provide you with a service of giving you these kind of hot stocks and making sure that you are able to capitalize on those stocks, right, by closing at 5% so that you can make money and see the money coming into your account, bank account, right? That will give you more confidence to be a part of our team, a part of our community, right? To being a valuable member of this company. So it is very important that you make sure and follow, and the results speak for themselves. It is so important to focus on the profitability, because when a profitability of 92%, right? I hope you can see my mouse. The sum total comes to 92, right? Very important and a very strong profitability factor when it comes to, no other institution or no other company has shown such strong results. A 92% profitability in a week, sorry, in a month. All right, 92% profitability in 1 month. All right, a very strong number. All right, guys and girls, it's very important to please it. People might take it, people might take it casually. I want people to take it very seriously. It is something that can make your life. All right, 92% in 1 month with the trade recommendations of around 25. All right, 25 approx. I'm not it's going to be more than 25, but guessing approx 25, right? 25 hot stocks given out and giving a 92 percentile profitability, right? 92% profitability. So, and that too in how much? In a month, right? As I've mentioned it before. So when you have these kind of figures coming out, right? Sagar is saying, I made 5% profit through ENIL. Wow, Sagar, I'm so happy for you that you have taken the choice, you have taken the decision to, follow the hot stocks and make money, right? I mean, I feel proud. I feel happy when, my students, my community is doing well, is being able to make money, and we share that enthusiasm. I can literally feel the happiness that you have been able to generate 5%. Imagine making 5%, in a fixed deposit in India. in 1 year, and here maybe in a week, less than a week, if you're able to make 5%, that just shows the strength, that shows the the power, right? The power of the financial markets. So please make sure that you are able to be a part of this group as much as possible. Be aware, be more active in the group, talk more about it, be more interactive. Let me know all how you feeling, how are things going on, which trades you have taken, how much money you have made, how much percentage. Even Sophia is writing, me too, right, Sophia? You had made good profitability last week. I remember. I hope you had a great last weekend based on the profits you have made. Wow, Mr. Lee, yes, it's wow. It's like mind blowing, right? When trade ideas are given out, when people are taking trades, when people are making those profits, and when people get back to us informing that they have made profits, it feels good, So a big shout out to Mr. Sagar. All right, so thank you for making, and I'm happy that you have made 5%. All right, and make sure any other questions, whether even if it's based on in terms of asking questions or having any doubts, or if you are getting stuck in even understanding how trading view works, or if you're not able to analyze any if you're having any doubts in any form of analysis, please get back to me in the chat box. You can type, right? Sophia is writing, this month made 52% profit. My goodness, 52%. I'm like, imagine, right? Imagine the power the financial markets, the financial markets hold. 52%. For every $100 invested, you are able to make $52. I'm just using dollar term, right? You can use rupees, dirhams. For every $1,000, you're making $520. For every $100,000 invested, you are making how much? $52,000. For every $1 million invested, you have made $520,000. Look at the value, right? The power of making money in the financial markets. I'm very much sure that people in the comment box understand this, and it is very important for people. When people let me know that they have achieved certain targets, when people have made money taking hot stocks, when people are learning from or utilizing whatever information is being shared, when when people get back to me telling that, Harsh, I remember that you had talked about this particular topic, and I listened to it, and then I started to become more curious, and I started to make my brain started to function more better, and now I'm able to understand it better. I feel good about it. So Mr. Lee is writing, even within one single month. That is correct. 52%. It's even lesser than 1 month, right? Sophia made an astonishing profitability rate of 52%. And yes, Lee, Mr. Lee, it's unbelievable, right? This is what happens when you attend my live streaming session, right? I try to make sure I try to provide you with the right set of information. Remember, this entire work is not just done by me, all right? This work is also handled, especially when it comes to hot stocks. We have a team of dedicated researchers, experienced analysts, right? So my team, me and my team, right? We make sure to check the research the markets and to provide you. So it is not just me; it is my entire team, right? We work together as a team, right? I hope that, I'm very happy to see all the positive responses that people are, have been able to make money. People are happy in listening. People are curious to learn more about how the financial markets are working, and more or less people are positive, right? People are happy. So I think there is a good amount of information, right, that has been shared. A good amount of people. Today's chat box, right? Today's chat box has been lively. I would definitely say it always starts a little monotonous, where people are like, very few people start to interact, but as and how the progress picks in, right? As and how we, the more live streaming sessions you attend, the more. Interactive, the more comfortable you are going to become with me, right? Like, even when we started, you did not know me, I did not know you, but the more we have these live sessions. Remember, it happens from Monday till Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And every day we have three live streaming sessions. Once in the morning, once the stock market has opened, once during the afternoon, like the one happening right now when the market is running and has just closed, and the third happens once the market has closed completely, and people, that is mainly towards education, all right, trading, technical trading education. So Ali is writing, teacher, can you explain XAU USD? All right, Ali, we will talk about XAU USD. A very short, remember, because we are running short on time. We only have 4 minutes remaining, so I need to make it as concise as possible, right? XAU USD. So for people who do not know what is XAU USD, it basically stands for gold. All right. I hope you all can see my screen. So here is the gold spot, all right? The gold spot, the current price of gold as of now. So it is denoted by XAU USD, right? So prices have been going up, has been very bullish, and the reason for its bullishness has been basically due to the geopolitical events that has been happening, right? Everyone is aware about what is happening in Israel, in Palestine, in Iran, so, and especially with Russia, Ukraine, then even with North Korea, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan. So there's a lot of uncertainty. So when there is a lot of uncertainty in the markets, what do people do? People take their money, they take out the money and put it in a safe haven such as gold, right? Like every one of us knows, when we were small, our mothers, our grandmothers, our grandparents used to tell, invest in gold, convert money, invest in gold. The value of gold will always appreciate. And as you can see, when I zoom out from the chart, the value of gold has always been appreciated. So right now it is at a pretty high value of 2730, and the reason has been simple, because of the geopolitical reasons. I mean, if you want, Ali brother, if you want more information about gold from a technical perspective, please tune in to our third live streaming session, which will happen. And during that streaming session, we can have a more detailed discussion as to what are the technicalities showing, how do we connect the dots based from a technical point of view. All right, so I think we have had a great session for this live streaming session. I mean, I'm so happy for Sagar, I'm so happy for Sophia, and I can see, when people start to generate profits, and when they can see the real money coming into their accounts, right? When I say money, 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 so people feel happy and people are hooked on to making more money, and that is what we want to provide to you beautiful people, the opportunity to make money, to test our strategies, to test our hot stocks, to understand its power. All right, so I think you have all have had a great day. Thank you, Bali Sheikh. I mean, thank you for your claps. I mean, I'm so happy that I'm able to explain it to you in a way that people can understand, and people love being understand in this fashion, right? So let me conclude today's session, and I hope all of you have a great evening. Remember, the markets are closed, the Indian share market is closed, but the evening is still yet to remember, right? So we have the evening and we have night. So go out, have a good time with your friends, family members, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever you want to spend time with. We will come back for the third live streaming session. All right. So please make sure you attend today's third live streaming session. All right. Until next live trading session. Until then. All right. See ya. Bye bye. Take care.